Good morning, girls, and welcome back to our today's geography class. Today, we shall continue with the discussion on the topic how seasons occur. So, in the previous video, we discussed about a few factors like the revolution of the earth and the tilted axis of the earth. Also, the phenomena like aphelion and the perihelion position of the earth, equinoxes, etc., and how they play a role in the occurrence of seasons on our planet. In today's video too, we shall be discussing about a few more phenomena which will help us understand the occurrence of seasons and the reason behind them for better. Solstice. Now you can see a figure on your screen. On observing carefully, you will understand that there are two figures here first of all. That is figure A and figure B. Now in figure A, the North Pole is receiving sunlight, whereas in figure B, the North Pole is not receiving sunlight. Thus we can say that the Northern Hemisphere has the longest daytime on 21st June, whereas it experiences the longest night on 22nd of December every year. On further observation, you will also note that on 21st June, the Tropic of Cancer receives perpendicular sun rays. Considering the position of the North Pole, the Northern Hemisphere experiences summer from 22nd March to the 23rd of September every year. In the same period, the phenomena called the midnight sun is observable on the North Pole and the countries located there. Now, since the period between 22nd March to 23rd September experiences summer in the Northern Hemisphere, at the same time, the Southern Hemisphere will be experiencing winter, which also means that in the period from 23rd September to 21st March, the Southern Hemisphere will be experiencing the summer season. Hence, the phenomenon of the midnight sun will be visible at the South Pole during this period. So, after observing this diagram, we can conclude that the sun rays are perpendicular at the equator on 22nd March and 23rd September. After 22nd March, other parallels between the equator and the Tropic of Cancer in the Northern Hemisphere, and after 23rd September, other parallels between the equator and the Tropic of Capricorn start receiving perpendicular sun rays sequentially. When any one of the poles inclines the most towards the sun, 23 degree 30 minutes parallel of that hemisphere receives perpendicular sun rays. Only on 21st June and 22nd December, the sun rays become perpendicular on the Tropic of Cancer and the Tropic of Capricorn respectively. These 2 days are called the solstice days. Kindly note that sun rays are never perpendicular on any of the parallels between the Tropic of Cancer and the North Pole or between the Tropic of Capricorn and the South Pole. It is the phenomenon of solstice because of which 21st June is the longest day and shortest night in the Northern Hemisphere, whereas it is the shortest day and longest night in the Southern Hemisphere. Contrary to this, 22nd December is the longest day and shortest night in the Southern Hemisphere and the shortest day and longest night in the Northern Hemisphere. Always remember, the summer solstice occurs when one of the Earth's poles has its maximum tilt towards the sun, and the winter solstice occurs when one of the Earth's poles has its maximum tilt away from the sun. Summer as well as winter solstice occurs twice yearly, once in each hemisphere, that is northern and the southern hemisphere. Winter solstice astronomically marks the beginning of lengthening days and shortening nights. But in the region from the Arctic Circle to the North Pole, the sun remains visible for 24 hours or longer. At the North Pole, the sun is visible in the sky from the period from 22nd March to 23rd of September. Whereas in the region from the Antarctic Circle to the South Pole, the sun remains visible for 24 hours or longer in the sky from the period from 23rd September to 21st of March. Seasons have been decided on the basis of the duration of sunlight, equinoxes, and solstices. The equatorial region does not experience any change of season. Hence, the climate in that region does not change at all in the year. In the places beyond the equatorial region, in either hemispheres, summers or winters are experienced one after the other within a year. The occurrence of seasons, one after the other, in a year leads to the cycle of seasons. Generally, there are two seasons, summer and winter, on the earth. However, in some places, seasons are taken to be four in all. Apart from the geographical conditions, some local conditions also influence the seasons. Conditions like change in the atmosphere, vapor in the air, the wind, and the precipitation, etc. Due to such local conditions, seasons other than summer and winter are seen in different parts of the world. For example, in India, it rains for a specific period which goes on roughly for about 4 months. Therefore, here we consider 4 seasons such as summer, rainy season, the period of retreating monsoon, and winter. It's the same local conditions which influences the seasons in Europe and North America too, where the 4 seasons taken into consideration are summer, autumn, winter, and spring. The cycle of seasons has a direct impact on the living world on the earth. If the earth's axis were not tilted, the seasons wouldn't have occurred. It is the tilt of the axis that leads to occurrence of seasons, change, and diversity on the earth. The cycle of seasons lead to biodiversity on the earth. For example, in the region between 66°30' and 90°, which basically marks the region closest to the poles in both the hemispheres, even the mild sunlight available for a part of the year gives rise to a certain flora and fauna. In the Antarctic region, birds like penguins, fish like seal, and animals like walruses are found. In the polar region of the northern hemisphere, animals like reindeer, polar bears, Arctic foxes, etc. are found. The living organisms in various regions on the earth adapt to the natural conditions according to the cycle of seasons, which is why during extreme cold climatic conditions, when the food supply becomes scarce, a number of birds and animals migrate temporarily. Trees bear fruit in a particular season, which is why the agricultural seasons also depend on the local climatic conditions. Appearing on the screen are the 2 species of migratory birds. An Arctic tern. Once the winter at the North Pole becomes severe, this bird travels southwards. When it is summer in the northern hemisphere, it flies back towards the North Pole. It has to travel in search of food. In the course of 1 year, it travels around 70,000 kilometers. About this particular bird, it is said that It could be the only species in the world that experiences summer twice in a year. The next one is the Siberian crane. Due to severe winter and lack of food, cranes from the cold northern regions visit India traveling around 8 to 10,000 kilometers. Once summer starts in India, they migrate back to the north. With this, we come to an end of this chapter. Hope this video was informative. Thank you for being attentive. God bless you all.